guys, but my real fool's gold player here is going to be Chase Edmonds, running back for the Arizona Cardinals. Listen, man, comes out off the IR, 16 carries, 8 catches. Things went every which way for Chase Edmonds. However, that was without James Conner, and that was in a very negative game script as the Cardinals are, again, just kind of slumping as they scratch and itch their way towards the playoffs. With that being said, if James Conner does make a return, you can expect that workload to be cut in half. And obviously, the value of those touches decreases as well. So Chase Edmonds is a guy that I'd keep my eye on. You're unlikely to find a pivot at this point, but considering he was on the IR for the last 3 weeks, you've probably been starting other people over him in his via his replacement. So those are the guys that I'd probably look towards. If you have any of those guys, or if you have different thoughts, I'd love to hear them, Justin or Jacob. Let me hear what you got.
It's hard for me to bench that guy because he's gonna probably get a lot of work against the Cowboys is what I'm leaning on. So I'd be pretty hard pressed unless I'm stacked to bench him. That's just where I stand on him.
The Dallas Cowboys have been the number one defense over the last 5 weeks against the run. That's another thing that we have to consider here. They've been a huge fantasy asset too. I play in a league and I haven't even been thinking about the Dallas Cowboys defense. They've just kind of been like steadily on my roster and I just like start them every week. I don't know why. Usually I'm really more like into it, like researching defenses and matchups. And lo and behold, I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys and it's like 16 points, 23 points.
Hey, they won matchups last week.
They've won 23 fantasy points last week. So the defense been playing really well. And again, Kyler Murray's been struggling. This team is limping towards the playoffs. And if James Conner comes back, I don't really like it, man. I'm not a big fan, which is why I'm fading. And again, Justin said you can't really find an argument to bench him. I'm just saying temper your expectations. That's all.
Yeah, it's similar to the Josh Jacobs argument from earlier. It's like you're probably going to start him, but you don't feel great about it.
Every guy we talked about for our fool's gold players, we have the same argument for and the same argument against. These guys are going to get volume. And it's just unlikely that they're going to produce the way we would want them to with those touches. Absolutely. That's all we're saying.